Super Saiyan 3, the form which transcends the form that already surpasses the legendary status of Super Saiyan, a form so incomprehensible and powered that no one could imagine that it was possible.
Has he really found a way to surpass an ascended Saiyan? Is that possible?
He must be bluffing. I mean, what would that make him? Double ascended?
This form could only be accessed by other fusions or Saiyans with an incredibly strong trained body that could withstand the imposed strain on the user. This transformation pushes the user far past their usual limits. While the second level was stated to be twice as strong the first level, the third level is 4 times greater than its predecessor, giving the user a 400 times boost in power. Due to the abnormal circumstances a Saiyan must undergo, the form is far more difficult to attain. As a result, very few characters have achieved the third level of Super Saiyan, let alone master it. So just like my previous video on how every Saiyan unlocked Super Saiyan 2, I will reveal every Super Saiyan 3 user who unlocked the form in chronological order. However, I will do something that I don't usually do and mention characters who achieved Super Saiyan 3 in other medias, such as video games and Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So if you like this video and want to see Super Saiyan 4 next, then please help me and give this video a like. But without further ado, let's go even further beyond.
To go even further beyond!
Fight me if you're ready to die. Only Majin Buu has pushed me this far in battle before.
Goku's the first character who manages to break through the second level. He displays the legendary form during the Buu Saga after training for 7 years in the afterlife. This happens after Majin Buu and Babdi's rampage on Earth. Buu terrorizes the planet, destroying city after city as Babdi looks for Trunks, Goten, and Piccolo for revenge. He manages to leverage this chaos to extract the information on where Trunks lives. Realizing that Majin Buu and Babdi are on their way to West City, Goku decides to take action. Goku opts to buy time for Trunks to grab the Dragon Right Arm from West City before it gets destroyed. He uses instant transmission and teleports right in front of Babdi and Majin Buu. Believing he's not a threat, Babdi mocks Goku and thanks him for being responsible for helping Buu getting revived. Goku then warns Buu that in 2 days he will face off against a strong opponent that can give him a good fight. Babdi tells Goku he isn't interested and they will go straight to a city. Goku denies and says if he wants to reach Capsule Corp, then he has to go straight through him. Goku then powers up, electricity starts surging as Goku morphs into Super Saiyan 2. Everyone else can sense Goku's huge power level, including Trunks, who stops midair as he's in disbelief by how enormous Goku's level of power is. He further comments that Goku must be as strong as his own father. However, Babdi isn't impressed as he comments how Vegeta already used this transformation and failed. Goku replies that the second level isn't enough of a challenge for Buu, and says, how about I take it to the next level? Goku smirks, displaying a stoic expression, relishing the fact that he's up against an opponent who can push him this far. Though, Goku doesn't forget about the mission. He tells Trunks to get moving and not waste time. Meanwhile, Goku monologues to himself that he will need to stall Buu for a bit longer. He goes back to base form. Prompting Majin Buu to ask whether or not they're still going to play, Goku reassures him that they will get to it once he has taught him a thing or two about Super Saiyans. Goku powers up almost nonchalantly and shifts to the legendary Super Saiyan transformation, the same form that the Saiyans used to believe was nothing but a myth. He then pushes far above that and achieves a level that far exceeds the previous form in strength and speed. Goku, for the first time in the show, labels this transformation as Super Saiyan 2. Babdi brushes it off, claiming that Goku just changed his hair, and he calls it a useless transformation. Back at the lookout, Piccolo wonders if Goku has really found a way to surpass Super Saiyan 2. Krillin doubts it and says that might be impossible and that Goku must be bluffing. Then Goku starts screaming as he raises his power level, explaining that this is to go even further beyond. Goku starts screaming as electricity starts pulsing even faster around him. Everyone in the lookout can sense a dramatic change about to transpire. At the Grand Kai's planet, a place that transcends the mortal realm, King Kai is seen watching everything on Earth. He tells Goku to stop, protesting that if Goku does this now, he will drain away his time he has on Earth. However, Goku continues to transform as the entire planet quite literally shakes. Clouds start being pulled, buildings around the world starts to collapse. Even Tien, who's on the other side of the world, thinks if Goku keeps powering up, the whole planet will get destroyed. We then look at Goku's eyes as we see a visual of Goku's inner great ape being harnessed, almost as if it's showing that Goku's somehow tapping into the primal power of his Saiyan powers, being able to control and utilize some of the powers of the great ape without changing shape. With one mighty scream, Goku lets his power explode as he pushes beyond his limits. Goku's now emitting a brilliant flash of light. Babidi has to shield his eyes to prevent himself from being blinded by the immense flare, but once he recovers his vision, he gasps as he witnesses Goku's no longer the man he was. His orange gi shimmers with a tremendous aura of power. His hair has grown all the way down to his waist, and his eyebrows are gone. Goku looks intimidating as ever, even more so than his fight against Frieza on Namek. In fact, Goku's Super Saiyan 3 design in itself is supposed to look raw and primal. Akira Toriyama commented that his decision of removing Goku's eyebrows was to make him look more intimidating. Also, in addition to the increased muscle mass, Goku has a deeper, rough voice compared to his usual friendly, innocent tone. This is of course most notable in the English dub, as the voice actor Sean Schemmel said he intentionally makes Goku sound deeper with each Super Saiyan transformation. However, without counting Super Saiyan 4, Goku's Super Saiyan 3 possesses a trait that many fans overlooked, as Goku's eyes have pupils in them as opposed to his previous Super Saiyan transformation, and that could be a design choice that has to do something with Goku tapping into the primal power of the great ape. In fact, tapping into the powers of the great ape isn't just some sort of headcanon or reach. Super Saiyan 3's initial design by Akira Toriyama was going to have a tail, which further adds that this form is like a pseudo or incomplete Super Saiyan 4 transformation from the perspective of Dragon Ball GT. With this power, Goku becomes the strongest mortal in the universe. His power was so great that it could be sensed all the way in the Supreme Kai world, a place where it would normally be impossible to sense anything, given the fact that the Kaioshin realm is a place that transcends the mortal universe, being beyond the concepts of space and time. Even Kabuto Kai protests that it shouldn't be possible. This is of course not even counting what Goku did in the movie Fusion Reborn, where he outright shakes the entire afterlife with his sheer aura when he transformed into a Super Saiyan 3. Honestly, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation is sometimes disregarded by some fans for the fact that it wasn't accomplished by emotional build-up, nor was it associated with an important win. Also, that Goku literally pulled this form out of his ass just to waste time. But truth be told, this doesn't do justice to the transformation, as the Super Saiyan 3 transformation used to be the true ultimate Super Saiyan transformation in Dragon Ball Z. It also had some wins in the movies as well, with Goku defeating Fat Janinpa, and in the movie Wrath of the Dragon, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks defeats the first form of Hirudegarn, and Goku defeats the final form with arguably his best attack ever, the Super Dragon Fist. Lastly, as you can see in this video, Super Saiyan 3 is a form that is not easy to accomplish, as Goku for 30 years used to be the only non-fused character to accomplish this form. Even the Universe 6 Saiyans who can cakewalk Super Saiyan 1 and 2 would dream about unlocking the Super Saiyan 3 transformation.
It's too bad. I wish there was a crowd around to see me do this. Do you like the new look? Man, I'm proud.
Gotenks is the fusion of Trunks and Goten via the Metamurin dance. They fused together for the first time during the Buu Saga, and is the second and final user of Super Saiyan 3 in the Dragon Ball Z anime. When Gotenks first appeared, he was only in his base form, and still didn't go Super Saiyan until his second successful fusion, where both Trunks and Goten started as Super Saiyans. Upon performing the dance successfully, they become a Super Saiyan Gotenks. However, due to Gotenks' personality being affected by the Super Saiyan transformation, his already cocky and belligerent personality only magnified to an even further degree. This rash and arrogant demeanor caused Super Saiyan Gotenks to fly off the lookout, and instead of fighting against Majin Buu, he starts leaping around the world 9 times in seconds. Due to Super Saiyan Gotenks wasting time, he defuses before getting the chance to fighting Buu. Consequently, Majin Buu goes through changes, as upon seeing both Mr. Satan and his new best friend B getting shot, he expels his evil side after experiencing immense emotional turmoil. this manifestation becomes Evil Boo, the physical form of the evil side of Majin Buu. After losing the battle against his evil counterpart, he becomes Super Buu, a version of Majin Buu who's a lot stronger compared to his previous forms. Unlike his previous two halves, one being incredibly thin and the other a beast respectively, Super Buu is muscular and much taller than both of the previous forms of Buu. He is also much more humanoid, having a muscled, well-proportioned body. He looks more of an adult version compared to the childlike form previously. He also gains the ability to sense power levels, as he immediately finds where the lookout is. His cognitive abilities have improved so much that he could recognize that Videl is Mr. Satan's daughter, as well as being able to count every last living being on Earth, counting them all one by one. He does that just to show Piccolo he isn't willing to wait and be manipulated. He tells Piccolo to go and bring the fighter that Goku promised he would fight against. This forces Piccolo to take extreme measures, and make Krillin take Trunks and Goten into the time chamber. There they train for about less than an hour in real life time, which equates to less than 15 days, since 1 minute in real time equals to 6 hours inside the time chamber. There, Gotenks managed to get a lot stronger and master the first level of Super Saiyan, as he could transform into a Super Saiyan right after fusing into his base form. However, due to Gotenks' playful and childish behavior, he treats this fight more as a spectacle and does not take it seriously, even at one point pretending like he could no longer fight as he dramatically pretends to have lost all his energy just to mess with Piccolo. Consequently, this backfires as Piccolo decides to blow the entrance, trapping both of them with Super Buu. Upon realizing that he would be sealed for eternity with no way to eat any candy, Super Buu gets so angry and screams so hard that he rips through space and time. This creates a portal to the real world. Super Buu makes his escape, leaving both Piccolo and Gotenks behind. As everyone in the lookout is at Buu's mercy, on the other side are Gotenks and Piccolo trying to punch a hole like Super Buu did, but to no avail, as neither one of them is strong enough. Gotenks says, "Looks like I have no choice." Piccolo exclaims and says, "What are you doing?" Gotenks then throws his hands in the air and then locks in as he starts powering up greatly. Gotenks starts emitting electricity around his body and then a shining bright light as he transforms into a Super Saiyan 3. Gotenks is so strong in this form that he could easily replicate Super Buu's feat and scream his way through the real world. While this is the first time we see Gotenks achieve Super Saiyan 3 on screen, it wasn't the first time he unlocked it. Just like Goku, who unlocked the form in the other world, Gotenks has also achieved the form off-screen prior to this event. This was greatly hinted in the manga by Akira Toriyama, where we see Goten and Trunks having a conversation on how their new technique has a time limit weakness, as they can only use it for 5 minutes. This is when Goten says maybe they should change into that form right away so they can beat him. But Trunks says they should make this more interesting and only transform to what he calls the Ultra Super Saiyan, when there is only 5 minutes left. In addition, in the anime, this same scene includes a part where you can visibly see what looks like a silhouette of Gotenks Super Saiyan 3, which makes it even more obvious. By the way, as a side note, and I'm gonna go on a tangent here, I just kinda dislike how Goten got over his mother's death so quickly. Like, I know he's still a kid, but I feel like this should have been more of a reason for him to be, like, a little bit more mad and intent on getting revenge. I honestly feel like the show just genuinely forgot that Goten just literally saw his own mother die in front of him. Let's not forget that Gohan literally saw a random ass robot he just met die and got so mad that he unlocked a new form. I mean, I just dislike how the show constantly mishandled Goten's character. But I digress. On a more positive note, I just want to comment that I really find it funny how in manga chapter 493, when Gotenks transforms, Piccolo shockingly asks Gotenks how he did it, and Gotenks literally just says, "I don't know," and follows up with, "By the way, I'm super strong now." This of course wouldn't make much sense, because in the anime, Goku was shown going Super Saiyan 3 one more time in front of Goten and Trunks when he was teaching them the fusion dance. He shows them how, in order to go Super Saiyan 3, you must first achieve Super Saiyan 2 and then literally dig deeper. Well, at least that's according to Goku. However, the reason why I mentioned this is because this was a filler scene, but showing how Gotenks managed to achieve this form, you can argue that this scene was missing in the manga. And speaking of things missing, unlike Goku, Gotenks only has the standard green Super Saiyan eyes, and doesn't have the pupils like Goku's Super Saiyan 3. This could be because Goku is a full-blooded Saiyan. and as such, he can tap more into his primal instincts. In fact, according to the video game Raging Blast, Super Saiyan 3 is a form that uses a Saiyan's full potential with power extracted from every drop of their blood, which could explain how a full-blooded Saiyan would look a bit different. Also, it's interesting to note how Super Saiyan 3 is the only form that has something to do with time and space, as when Goku went Super Saiyan 3, his time on Earth was reduced significantly. This is the same with Gotenks, which cuts his fusion time significantly after using the form, as he can only do it for 5 minutes. This is possible because Super Saiyan 3 is a form that transcends time and space. Like I mentioned earlier, Goku was able to shake the afterlife in the movie Fusion Reborn, a place that is beyond the concepts of space and time. I honestly would love to have seen a truly mastered Super Saiyan 3 form on screen. Speaking of which...
Are you ready now? To witness a power not seen for thousands of years? I know finishing was to be the best, to be the greatest Saiyan alive, as I always have been. You say I'm arrogant, I say damn right. That's pride in the Saiyan I am. At long last, I've ascended.
After nearly 30 years from the last canon Super Saiyan 3 transformation in the main anime timeline, Vegeta has finally went even further beyond, achieving the very form that he has continued to skip. Whether it was Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, or even Super, Vegeta was infamously known to skip the 3rd level, with Vegeta going Super Saiyan 4 in GT, and in Super he uses the God forms. It seemed like there was little to no chance that we would ever see an actual Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in the canon verse of Dragon Ball, as the Saiyan Prince has no problem appearing in various video games basking in his long golden hair glory, from his appearance in Dokkan Battle to Dragon Ball Heroes and even Raging Blast, where we see an entire story featuring a what-if scenario on Vegeta unlocking Super Saiyan 3, and then using it to fight every other Super Saiyan 3 user in order to prove he is the strongest. So even though this was nothing like how it was imagined in these games, we have finally got Vegeta achieving Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Daima episode 12, where Vegeta is seen engaging in a battle against the Tamagami. They are extremely powerful warriors who guard the Dragon Balls from being used by anyone who is deemed unworthy. Due to their immense strength, it was said that even someone like Deborah who scales to Cell wasn't able to beat them. Naturally, this means Vegeta's facing against an enemy that he can't afford to hold back against for long. He engages against the Tamagami, and Vegeta's pushed to his limits. He ascends to Super Saiyan 2. The surge in power gives him the upper hand, and it seems like he's on the verge of overwhelming his opponent. Just as the battle reaches its peak and Vegeta looks like he has the slight edge, the ancient Namekian Neva watches in awe. Impressed by Vegeta's strength, he decides to spice things up, granting the Tamagami a tremendous power boost. With this newfound strength, the tide of battle shifts. The Tamagami, now far more powerful, begins to overpower Vegeta with brutal force, ultimately launching him deep into the ocean. Undeterred, Vegeta delivers a punch underwater, but the strike barely causes a ripple. In retaliation, the Tamagami lands a crushing blow and lifts Vegeta from the depths, unleashing a devastating energy blast that sends the Saiyan Prince spiraling into a vulnerable state. The blast strips Vegeta of his Super Saiyan 2 form, reducing him back to his previous state. Falling deep into the ocean, Vegeta seems on the brink of defeat, but his fighting spirit is far from extinguished. Clenching his fist, his eyes snap open with renewed resolve. A surge of energy courses through him, crackling with raw electricity as his body flickers with the unmistakable glow of Super Saiyan 2 once more. With a mighty roar, he unleashes a powerful ki, sending the Tamagami reeling back, thus restoring the balance of the fight. Vegeta then starts powering up. The ocean churns violently as if being devoured by an unseen force. The intense pressure and energy building beneath the surface creates a massive whirlpool, twisting the waters into a spiraling chaos. Suddenly, a blinding flare of light erupts from the depth. Everyone else is watching in tense silence, eyes fixed on the Saiyan Prince. Vegeta's powering up further, his hair beginning to spike and lengthen, with the unmistakable hint of aura enveloping him. Vegeta is going even further beyond. Emitting a powerful light of energy that blinds his opponent, we witness the Saiyan Prince in Super Saiyan 3. With this new profound power, he easily overwhelms the Tamagami, even looks like he's toying with him. Mirroring the same treatment Goku gave Trunks, he blocks the Tamagami's weapon with a finger and then starts kicking him around with his arms crossed. This display is reminiscent of Vegito's fighting style, highlighting how in many ways, Vegito was always more like Vegeta than Goku in fighting style. Of course, this is not Vegeta's first time transforming, as once we see Goku's shocked reaction to this, Bulma says that Vegeta has been doing a lot of training by himself, reinforcing that while Vegeta was never the first to unlock a Super Saiyan transformation, he always manages to learn, adapt, and grow strong enough to do so by himself. The key component to understanding how Vegeta acquires new transformations lies in his ability to master what he observes. For example, Vegeta only became a Super Saiyan after learning that Goku had already achieved the form, suggesting that Goku served as a catalyst alongside Vegeta's training. Similarly, Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 3 after witnessing it firsthand, supporting the idea that he usually needs to see new transformations before mastering them through his relentless training. Even in Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta unlocked the God forms by his own, just like he did with Super Saiyan 1 and 2 in Dragon Ball Z and 3 in Dragon Ball Daima. Now, it's interesting to note that Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 design is a bit different than Goku's Super Saiyan 3. And before you comment that's obviously because Goku and Vegeta have different hair, let's not forget that Gotenks literally has the same hairstyle as Vegeta, yet his Super Saiyan 3 form is exactly like Goku, while Vegeta's hairstyle is reminiscent of Akira Toriyama's original Super Saiyan 3 design he made all those years ago, with the hair lengthening and standing up. Vegeta also has the black dotted pupils just like Goku, which could further solidify that the pupils are either reserved for full-blooded Saiyans or just non-fused characters. I would also like to believe that Vegeta's unique hairstyle has to do with him being a royal blood Saiyan. While what I'm about to say is purely headcanon, but if you remember, according to Raging Blast, Super Saiyan 3 is a form that extracts power from every drop of blood a Saiyan has. This could mean Vegeta having royal blood causes him to mutate to a more controlled variation of Super Saiyan 3. Let's not forget that Super Saiyan 3 has to do with tapping into the powers of the Great Ape, and Vegeta, unlike Goku, was always able to control the Great Ape form far more better. Even in Dragon Ball GT, Vegeta was able to control his Great Ape form far easier than Goku, who was stronger than him in GT. Though I must admit that this is just my own explanation, so please don't take this as some sort of divine truth, because I think the real reason is just to make Vegeta stand out and give a nod to Akira Toriyama's early design. This is not too dissimilar from how the animators gave Gogeta's Super Saiyan 4 red hair to simply make him more unique. Before we move on, I just want to address the countless of people arguing why Vegeta never went Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super, and I find it funny that I myself answered this question in a video many years ago. I already saw Goku use Super Saiyan 3 against Kid Buu, and against Trunks in Dragon Ball Super, which again, those are clear signs that Vegeta does not lack the knowledge or talent in Dragon Ball Super to go Super Saiyan 3. But unfortunately, there is one reason why Vegeta might never go Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super. It's because Vegeta already went Super Saiyan 3. I know, hard to believe, but consider this. To be honest, let's not lie to ourselves. The real actual reason is that they never thought about actually giving Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super. This is a new concept and narrative decision. Now that doesn't mean you're not allowed to use your 300 brain IQ to try to fit it in the timeline. I myself wouldn't worry about it if I were you though. Let's just be happy that for the first time in the franchise, Vegeta has achieved Super Saiyan 3. Or actually, was it really his first time?
I don't just infect you, I control you. In other words, I become you.
Untitled is now the strongest being in the universe!
It has been common knowledge that Vegeta was infamously known to skip the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. But what if I tell you that he may actually indirectly transformed into this state during Dragon Ball GT? As when Vegeta is possessed by the villain Baby, he transforms into a form where his hair lengthens. Although not as long as your typical Super Saiyan 3, Super Baby Vegeta 2 displays a single prominent band carving across his face. In addition to that, he misses his eyebrows, a significant unprominent trait that only the Super Saiyan 3 transformation exhibits. This isn't merely an observation. I'm neither reaching or using headcanon. In fact, the Dragon Ball GT Perfect files itself state that this form resembles Super Saiyan 3, as if it's almost hinting that it is indeed a variation of the third level. This observation takes more prominence when you notice that Baby Vegeta's first form resembles Super Saiyan. His second form with the spiky and more rigid hair is reminiscent of the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. He achieves this form by doing a pseudo-god ritual with 4 Saiyans. His final form is that of a Super Saiyan 3. This sort of makes sense when you realize Super Baby Vegeta 2 needed to go into a golden Ozaru just to compete with SSJ4 Goku. Now I realize that none of this is 100% confirmed, and it could be more of a theory if anything. However, due to Dragon Ball Daima introducing Vegeta with a different hairstyle than Goku's Super Saiyan 3, makes it even more possible in a way to suggest Baby Vegeta's hair could still make him a mutated version of Super Saiyan 3. On the topic of theories though, I want to mention 2 other characters who could theoretically become Super Saiyan 3, but we never saw them do it. That will be the 2 fusions of Vegito and Gogeta. Given how Gotenks who could accomplish Super Saiyan 3 almost easily, there would be no reason why either Gogeta or Vegito can't go Super Saiyan 3, especially when now both their counterparts being Goku and Vegeta can achieve it. However, this is likely because unlike Gotenks, Gogeta and Vegito are way too overpowered to the point where going Super Saiyan 1 was an overkill to their opponent. Therefore, neither one of them needed to use anything above Super Saiyan 1. Additionally, there are 2 other characters who are contention to hypothetically have SSJ3, but these 2 have a significantly weaker chance compared to the 2 before. Kefla, the fusion of Kale and Caulifla, was so strong that she could overwhelm a Super Saiyan God Goku in her base, meaning with enough training they could have likely managed to go Super Saiyan 3. Goku Black is also another character who could use Super Saiyan 3 due to him possessing Goku's body. This means he could potentially tap into Goku's Super Saiyan 3 if he really trained for it. But tell me what you think. Do you think either one of them could achieve Super Saiyan 3? Like I mentioned early in this video, I will include characters who achieved Super Saiyan 3 in other medias. Spoilers alert, there are a lot. Therefore, I will briefly mention the most notable characters who achieved this transformation, and mention where they achieved it. Though, these characters won't be listed in any order in particular, since some characters achieve different transformations in different games. For example, one early transformation was Future Trunks, who achieved Super Saiyan 3 after Majin Buu gets revived in his timeline. Trunks remembers how he had fought so hard to protect his timeline and then goes Super Saiyan 3. GT Trunks also had a Super Saiyan 3 transformation in Dragon Ball Heroes as well. In fact, Dragon Ball Heroes is so notorious for giving out Super Saiyan 3 to almost every Saiyan with little context aside from some spin-off mangas. Therefore, as you expect, characters like Broly was also shown to have Super Saiyan 3 in so many different games, even before Dragon Ball Heroes. His form in fact debuted in 2009 in the Dragon Battlers game, which was also Vegeta's first Super Saiyan 3 debut as well. In fact, Broly's Super Saiyan 3 is so popular that he made an appearance in Dokkan Battle and even having so many different trading cards. In 2010, Vegito achieved Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Heroes. He gets a very short but well animated scene showcasing how he looks. However, unfortunately for his other counterpart Gogeta, he only gets an arcade style animation to him in Dragon Ball Heroes. Bardock, being one of the most wanked characters in Japan, gets Super Saiyan 3 in Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Heroes, and even Super Dragon Ball Heroes, where he is seen fighting against Ultra Instinct Goku. We also get Super Saiyan 3 Kumper, who's actually a decently interesting and new character from the Dragon Ball Heroes universe. He is an ancient evil Saiyan who's incomprehensibly strong. He has a Super Saiyan 3 transformation that could rival the gods, and can also go Super Saiyan 3 as a Golden Ozaru. During a fight with Turles, Raditz obviously for no reason goes Super Saiyan 3. This moment, however, like many, serves as nothing more than a moment of fan service that leads nowhere narratively. Though, if you're a Raditz fan, I'd say it's probably worth it. Speaking of worth it, well, to me at least, I think the most interesting Super Saiyan 3 form is Nappa from Dragon Ball Heroes, which answers a long-lasting question for me. Does he grow hair as a Super Saiyan 3 or not? Humorously enough, he doesn't, but instead his beard gets increasingly longer and becomes golden, which honestly fits a lot. Gohan, who probably needs this form the least, is shown to have it in Dokkan Battle. Now, before we move on to the end of the video, and trust me, you'll want to see what I put for you guys right at the end, I will mention the protagonists of Dragon Ball games that have Super Saiyan 3. Shallow is the protagonist of Dragon Ball Legends, a mobile game released in 2018. Shallow is an ancient Saiyan and is probably one of the most beloved non-canon characters in the Dragon Ball series. This is thanks to his dynamic personality and interesting lore and backstory. He's also voice acted by a fellow YouTuber. Shallow turned Super Saiyan 3 with Goku after training with him. What's interesting about him though is that his Super Saiyan 3 transformation has a tail similar to Akira Toriyama's original Super Saiyan 3 concept. Beat and Note are protagonists of Dragon Ball Heroes who achieved Super Saiyan 3. These two serve little purpose, to be honest, other than being self-insert characters by the audience. Interestingly though, Note was the first Super Saiyan female warrior in 2010. Finally, I want to mention the Future Warrior, who is the character we play as in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. He could also learn how to achieve Super Saiyan 3 after being taught by Vegeta himself. Super Saiyan 3 was always considered to be one of the most difficult forms for a Saiyan to achieve due to the immense physical and mental demands it places on the user. Other than fusions such as Gotenks, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation is exceedingly rare and difficult to attain. For me, this form is always going to be special. Even though I used to dislike this form as a kid, I thought it was just jarring and made Goku look weird. But as I grew up, I appreciated the form, because not only does this form provide a massive boost in strength, but we don't see the form spammed and given to anyone else that easy. Plus, Goku always delivers some of the most coldest lines in this form. My favorite Super Saiyan 3 transformation will always be the one from the Fusion Reborn movie. Nothing is going to beat that glorious Sean Schemmel scream for me. But on the topic of favorite Super Saiyan 3 transformations, let me know what your favorite was. Also, I know that I took so long making this video, but trust me, as you saw from the edits and writing, this video took so much time and effort to complete. So please, if you're excited to see the next video, please give this video a like, I would really appreciate it. Also comment and subscribe.
Light breaks the darkness. This form is my instrument. I have no limits. This is the kind of power I'd be running away from.